This week's episode of Hard Facts is inspired by a oh my god moment, followed by a no duh Sam moment I had this week that inspired today's conversation. Hi, I'm Samantha Cunningham Zawilinski, and this week on Hard Facts, I want to talk about an experience I had earlier this week that led me going, duh. But so what I'm talking about is what your sales team needs to be doing to make sure you're having as beneficial of a conversation with your potential audiences that they could have. So earlier this week, I was sending a couple of emails. I'm looking at new appliances for my home, and I'm thinking Black Friday, Black November, best time of year to buy them. And I previously talked to somebody about it a few months ago and said, you know what, we're gonna wait. Opened their email, looked at the quote, and said, you know what, let me reach back out, let me get updated pricing, and then I'll decide who I purchase from this month. He emailed me 10 minutes later and said, hey, just wanted to see if you had any questions as a follow-up from our last conversation. And I was like, oh my God, no way, I was just writing an email to you. And then I had that, duh Sam, hello, do you not do marketing for a living? He is using a tracking software that's letting him know I'm interested in what he had to say. So he knew I opened the email because he was using an email tracking tool. Now, some of your CRMs will do this, but if you're just currently running out of Gmail, for example, there are a couple of tools that you can plug into your email system that are going to give you these same capabilities. And I'll tell you, if your sales team, if you as a business owner are not currently utilizing this, huge missed opportunity. What if you could know every single time somebody opened your email? What if you could know every single time somebody clicked a link in your email? What if you could know every time somebody did not reply to you and you got a notification? That's what these email tracking tools can do. So this week we're going to talk about two different tools for you to explore, and I'll tell you my favorite at the end. The first one is going to be Boomerang. I love Boomerang because it has a number of different capabilities and a number of different tiers. So each of these tools do have a free version you can utilize, which is great, especially as you're kind of just dabbling, getting your feet wet, and deciding which is best for you. Now, Boomerang gets its name from being able to boomerang an email back in your inbox. So for example, you send an email out, you get a reply, you can boomerang it at a later date and time. So let's just say I know I don't need to talk to Curate about this other project we're doing until next week, although he replied to me yesterday. I can boomerang, have it pop back in my inbox on Wednesday when I need to take care of it. Now, it's still there living in that ecosystem, but I don't have to think about it or have it cluttering my inbox. The other opportunities that it presents to us is the ability to link track. So how many times did somebody click a link in your email? How many times did they open the email? Did they open the email? If they did not open the email, you can get a notification, and now you can take an action to either reach back out to them via email, or maybe that's a signal for you to pick up the phone and say, hey Samantha, I sent you an email a few days ago, not sure if it hit your spam folder, will you do me a favor and check? Or maybe you just didn't get a moment to get to it yet. A few other features here that I love is if you are sending emails and have correspondence and, for example, boomeranging an email back into your inbox, you can add a note, so you can add context to the conversation right there. Now, before we move on to our second tool, one other thing I love about Boomerang is the ability to send an email later. So here's a little tip. If you are in a client service business and that client's business is 7 days a week and you are a 5-day-a-week business, but you want to send them an email Saturday morning that says, hey, I'm thinking about you, here's something to do today to drum up some additional business, you can create that email any day during the week and schedule it to be deployed to that client on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Friday evening at 8 o'clock. So it is a great way to work ahead and send an email later. Now let's get into option number 2. Option number 2 is Mailtracker. Mailtracker has a number of the capabilities that Boomerang does and some that it doesn't. But here's one thing that I really do like as well from Mailtracker is it does allow you to see how many times your emails are opened, but it gives you a little bit of more data here than Boomerang. It is going to tell you how frequently it is opened and what device it was opened on. So for example, you would be able to see that Samantha opened the email 2 days ago on a Mac and she opened it 3 days ago on an iPhone. And then if I opened it more times, that would sort there as well. In addition to that, one thing it can do is it can also send you notifications, and I think these are a little bit sleeker than that of Boomerang. It will show you when somebody opens or takes an action, and you can enable desktop as well as mobile notifications. Both of these applications do work on mobile, just in slightly varying capacities. Now, one thing to keep in mind here when you are utilizing an email tracking tool or software is a limiting capability that they both have. They both will not be able to identify who is opening an email or engaging with content email when you are sending it to a mass audience. So this is not necessarily going to replace the analytics from like a MailChimp, a CRM report, and marketing automation software. It's more for your one-on-one engagement if you want to know specific actions an individual is taking. So their software recommendation is if you are going to send an email to a number of different people, you actually send a unique email to each of those people. So not necessarily a scalable solution, but if that analytics, who's opening it, who's clicking it, is really important to you, that's going to be how you have to do that to work within the constraints of the technology of their platform. And so really that's the only negative here. And when you're trying to send it out to a mass audience on an individual scale, it is going to give you many more analytics than what you are seeing in your current inbox. And depending on the platform subscription you choose, there may also be an additional dashboard you can jump into for those analytics for all the overall emails that you're sending. If I were you, I would take a look at Boomerang first. I love some of their additional capabilities. They integrate great in Gmail if you're currently utilizing that system for your business-based or even personal-based emails. And like I said, they both do have free versions, so check them out and see which one is going to work best for you. If you've got a question, a topic, or something you'd like me to cover in an upcoming episode of Hard Facts, I'd love to hear from you. So shoot me a DM, an email, or give me a call, and we'll cover it in an upcoming episode. That's it. That's this week's episode of Hard Facts.